What up, guys? That was stupid. Alright, fellers, welcome back to another one of my silly little videos. And I was hoping I was gonna get to skate today, but I was, and then it started raining. Welcome to Washington State. So instead, I'm gonna catch up on some other things that I want to make videos about, and one of those is these Slappy Low Profile Trucks. Talk a little bit about these trucks and what I think of them and whether I think you should buy them or not. Now, if you don't know what Slappy trucks are, they are trucks for your skateboard. They're not the newest kids on the block, but they're pretty new. What, like 4 or 5 years old, maybe? Maybe Mike Sinclair can tell me about that. But if you've never seen a Slappy truck, it is just a clean looking truck. Clean design, but these are the low models. So what that gets you is a lower truck. And these things are like 49.9 millimeters. I should know this because it's a review, but it's something like that. I believe the standards are 54.9 and these are like they're under 50. So they're pretty low truck. As always with Slappies, the build quality is super good. The machining, very nice. I appreciate how they have this Slappy on the bottom. Like it says Slappy on the bottom. And it does say low profile on the bottom. And those little touches are just pretty cool. One thing you can notice straight out of the box for a low truck, the kingpin clearance is pretty damn good. I mean, it's a low. This is a low. Every truck company should be doing this. Just put the size of the truck on the truck for the board. This says 8.5. Let's not confuse the shit with all your 139s and your 5.2s and your 147s and 48s and like everybody just needs to get on the same page. Just have a standard truck size. Like, is it that hard? It's inches. It's not really that difficult. We measure our board in inches. Let's do the trucks. Well, Slappy's doing that. And it's those little things like I'm talking about. But yeah, machining looks great. The coating, he's got the black base plate. It's flawless. The other thing about the Slappy Lows is I'm pretty sure this truck only comes in a hollow kingpin and hollow axle, which, you know, could be a pro or a con for some people. I don't pay much attention to like the weight of trucks. I don't let it bother me too much. These are, they feel light in your hand, but they are low trucks, hollow kingpin, hollow axle. So you're gonna get a lighter truck, more responsive. Just lighten up your whole setup with a truck like this, which kind of goes without saying with all the hollowness going on. You can see right through it, pretty sick. Just because I'm curious, this is an 8.5. Would you look at that, it's an 8.5 axle, as it should be, but I just wanted to check. So I've been on these trucks for, I don't know, I skated them for like a month and then I put them back and then I put them back on like three months ago. And I recently just took them off and I'm putting them back on a different setup because they were so playful. And I really enjoyed skating these trucks. Now we'll get to the good parts. What's the parts that matter? How do they skate? Well, like with all Slappy trucks, especially me being a big guy, bushings can be a problem, breaking them in. You know, there's a little bit of break-in time for these, but it's almost unnoticeable because it feels fine, like right off the bat. You know, if you like get indies and thunders, when you step on it gets that tilt and your board's going all fucking sideways. You're not gonna have that with these. I haven't had it, and the biggest thing I noticed with the low trucks is how well they turned. Like for a low truck, like I've skated, you know, Venture Lows and Thunders. Those are low. Any low truck I've skated, obviously they're just not gonna turn as good. That geometry isn't there. I wish I could explain to you what is different about this one, but it just turns. And I almost have this truck too tight. Usually I like to keep them like flush. I don't remember why I tightened it down. I think it turned too good. But with that being said, the wheel bite is still really minimal because I'll say it and I'll say it again, these are the best bushings that I've ever had on a truck. They're just the best. You don't gotta break them in, me personally. So I feel like they can stand by what they said, no break-in time. It's true, if you compare it to another truck, any other truck, there is no break-in time compared to those. But man, yeah, they turned super well. So yeah, the wheel bite, not a ton of wheel bite. I mean, these being like a 49 millimeter tall truck, I probably wouldn't go over like a 52 millimeter wheel. You do whatever you want. Yeah, I'd probably stick to like a 52 millimeter wheel max, which is what I skate. So these worked out perfect for me. And I'm not sure what like materials, like metal wise, these are made out of, but they take a while to grind down. Like, they just take a while. There's not even a whole lot of damage on this truck. My crook groove, you know, is like there-ish. It's there. But that's, you know, I do a lot of crooked grinds on the curbs, and these just seem to take a little while to wear out. And speaking of the material, I don't know what it is they do with it either, but it grinds very, very well. I would say it comparably grinds to like an Indy as far as the feeling. Like, you feel like you're skating on the curb, whereas with the Ventures, those grinded really well too, but it would dig out more material off the truck. These things just glide, and it surprises me every time. It means less wax, and I always forget to wax. So this is another pro for me. And as I kind of touched on a little bit before, so when you get new trucks, or any trucks in that matter, the bushings over time, it always has like that turn in them, you know, where it's like, it turns off. You kick your board away and it's going one way. These seem to return to like the center part really well. I don't know, it's like there's some rebound in this bushing that also helps with the stability, because they feel very stable. Like, they'll turn, obviously they turn very well in my opinion, but they don't turn until you want them to. So it can feel squirrely if you want it to, but you can feel stable if you want it to, which all comes down to control. Any truck can feel like that. You get used to any truck. But these, yeah, you lean into them and it'll go. And it won't wheel bite unless, you know, you can wheel bite any truck, obviously, except for those fucking Lurpivs or whatever. But yeah, these bushings, great. Another thing to note is the pivot cups. So I skated a lot of Indies, and then Ventures for a couple years, but a lot of Indies. And those pivot cups would always get squeaky on me. I haven't had that issue to the extent with these trucks. Like, I might hear a little squeak, but it's not. So the pivot cups, they don't get squeaky, which it's an easy fix. You just shut off some wax into your pivot cup, squeak goes away. But I haven't noticed any squeaky pivot cups, which is a plus. It never really bugged me too much, but it's just something to note. Now, as far as like recommending this truck, of course I can recommend this truck. What I think it would suit, and I can say it does suit for curb skating because it is lower in that lower center of gravity. And the pinch on crooked grinds with these was noticeably better than like your standard Slappies. Just because you can get in, you can lock in, and you can quicker get that pinch. And because you're lower to the ground, it just kind of, I don't know, it's hard to explain. It is noticeably better, and I thought the pinch on standard Slappies was already good enough for me. Like, they go into a pinch real nice, but you will notice a good improvement in your pinches on these. Also, if you do a lot of flat ground or technical skating, ledge skating, these will obviously make your whole setup a little lower, tail pops a little faster. I think that's why a lot of these ledge guys like Venture trucks, because they are lower. Those ones sit out a little bit farther. These ones affect your, like, I guess you could say it's a medium in between like a Venture and then like an Ace as far as your wheelbase. It'll be right there in the middle, closer to like an Independent. So it's more of your, you get more of your true wheelbase out of like Slappy trucks, also Independent trucks. And I like that because when you adjust your wheelbase so much, it affects your pop in positive or negative ways. This is all subjective, but these kind of keep it where you might think your wheelbase already is. Skate different trucks, you get used to different trucks, been over that. But it is nice. It's kind of a medium wheelbase, if you know what I'm saying-ish. Yeah, that being said, if you're like a big transition skater and you skate big wheels, these trucks probably aren't for you. You might as well just get the regular Slappies. And at that point, if you're skating like 60mm wheels, you're probably gonna need riser pads regardless. But with these bushings in Slappies, you might not, because it's a lot harder to wheel bite. Another thing to note, I know it's not inverted kingpin. I think I already did a review about the inverted kingpin ones, but I haven't had any loosening. The nuts don't get loose. Like I said, it's all high quality stuff. I haven't had to tighten them, or I haven't had any axle slip. The nice thing is there is plenty of room on there. I like to add a lot of washers on the inside, so I can comfortably add 3 washers on the inside just to kind of maximize the grind distance, I guess. But yeah, no loosening, nothing like that, no axle slip, no axle bending. Being a bigger guy, you can bend these hollow axles. I did on my Ventures. I mean, you're talking slight, and after like a year, yes, they bent. These things are still true and straight, which is important. You know, like I said, good material, especially hollow axle. That's usually why I stay away from hollow axle. But no complaints on these guys. Axles staying tried and true, you know what I'm saying? Now we'll get back to the company as a whole. So Slappy Trucks, those guys, they're awesome there. I mean, why wouldn't you want to support a guy like Sinclair? He's responsive, he cares about his product. You can clearly tell in his product. As I say in all my Slappy reviews, like why not try them? It's important to stick with what you know, but it keeps skating interesting when you're trying out different stuff. I kind of miss messing with my setups and trying out different stuff, but at the same time I don't, because there's certain stuff like with Slappy's I don't want to try anything else, and part of that is because the company, yes, they sent me these trucks, but I bought the trucks before and they sent me them to show the love back that I was showing to them, and that goes a long way. And you vote with your dollar, and supporting a company like Slappy and Mike Sinclair, I feel a lot better about, because I feel like he cares, and I've seen it all over the place. Yeah, it seems like a genuine dude who actually cares about skateboarding, cares about his product. And some of the other brands, unfortunately, you know, they've been around for a long time, so maybe that care went away a little bit, or just that it makes it feel more personal. Like, I'm skating my buddy's truck, and if you want to skate your buddy's truck, supporting my buddy's company, you know. And if you want to support your buddy's company, then you just buy a Slappy truck. They got sick colors, cool guys, their team's growing. You don't just have to skate curbs to skate Slappies. Remember that, guys. So yeah, there's just kind of like a quick review of my experience with these Slappy Lows. I really love this truck. It's one of my favorite trucks. Right now, I'm testing out the Slappy hollow lights. So same version, just their standard height. So hollow kingpin, hollow axle. If I left anything out, be sure to ask in the comment section, or go watch Robbie Rodriguez's video on these trucks, because he probably did a better job and covered more of the stuff. But yeah, go get you some Slappies, support a guy, good old Mike Sinclair and Slappy Trucks, and go show them some love. Go give them a follow on Instagram, check out some of their products. As always, hopefully in the next video you'll see me skating, because I got some fun stuff I'm trying out. It's not really board madnessy, but it should be pretty interesting and fun, and also trying out some different shoes. And I got, while it's raining, I'm doing more review videos. Probably got a TJ Rogers shoe review coming soon-ish, but I'd like to get out and skate. Today was the day. It rained. But yeah, as always, I will see you guys on the next one.